Hi, I'm Callum, and today we're going to show you how to make a tuning AM radio. So first of all, we start by making the body of the radio by putting these pieces together. There we go, here's the body of the radio. Now we are going to make the part that tunes the radio. We will need some foil, tube of course, and some grease-proof paper. We'll cut this foil to size, so almost to the length of this tube. There we go, get some electrical tape. And take the foil onto the tube, shiny side, with the shiny side showing. So place it in the middle of the tube. Take it down. Keep it as clean as possible and flat as possible, and try not to have too many wrinkles and creases. Right, we are now going to make a part that slides up and down to tune the radio of this tube. So get some greaseproof paper and cut that to size as well. This time we want it smaller than this size of the foil. So roughly about here. Put a smaller piece of foil to overlap the greaseproof paper. So flatten it out as much as you can. And now stick this onto the greaseproof paper. Again, you want the shiny side to be on top. You stick it around here. Okay. And now we're going to attach this part to this part. So, on here. As tight as possible. And once that is done, get a piece of tape and tape this together. And now you have your tuning part of the radio. So the next step is to make the coil of the radio, and here's what I've done with this example. So what I first did was get some garden wire, green wire, and tape one end to the top like this, and then carefully wrap it around this tube and keeping the wires close together as tight as possible, going round and round until roughly when you get to this end. And when you get to this point, you leave yourself a generous amount of excess wire and tape that down here, like so. And then after that, you get a second piece, long piece of wire, and you tape it here, and then you work your way back up, wrapping it carefully together. So adding a second layer of wire on top of the first layer of wire. Again, leaving a generous amount of excess wire as well. So when you go back up there, you finish wrapping up here, and you leave like a nice generous piece of wire left, and then you tape back there. So next we are going to attach one end of the bottom layer of the wire, like this one, to the other end of the top layer of the wire. So you're going to connect these two together. So put them together like this, and then you carefully twist it together so they combine. So these are now connected, and once this bit's done, you get some electrical tape and tape over it. So we are now going to make the diode part of the radio. And the first thing you do is get these 3 pins and put them in these holes. So let's do that. Put it in there, split the pin at the back, like so. Nice and tight. Like that. Put in the next one. So you've got 3 pins, and now you're going to attach this diode piece to those 2 pins here. So first of all, you just remove the packaging, the sleeves, carefully. Like that. And now you want to attach the diode so that this end, this black end, is like there on the diagram. And what you do is wrap it around the pin. So now we're going to attach this earpiece and the wires of the earpiece to the diode pack. We're going to connect each of those to these 2 pins here. So first of all, just remove the packaging again. This will need to go through the whole of the radio, but also attach to that at the same time. So I'm going to do this first. There we go. And then unravel these 2. So you have more play and it makes it easier to attach them. After you unravelled it, you now put these through the whole of the body. Thread it through. Now you have it like that. Yeah, so once you thread the earpiece through with the wire, you now attach each end to these 2 pins of the diode pack. So let's start off by doing this one. Now you've got to be very patient with this, it's a bit fidgety. Just got to try your best to wrap it around the pin. And tuck any loose wires or wire sticking out underneath the pin as best as you can. It should look like this now. So now we are going to get these 2 short pieces of black wire and stick one end to this part, the tuning part of the radio, and then we get the other wire and stick one end to the slidey part of the tuner. So it should look like this. Still slide it. Okay, so we're now going to connect these two wires to the diode pack. So these two pins here. So the slidey part where this wire that is attached will go to this one, and this one here will go to that side. So I'm just going to wrap it around the pins now. Okay, so we are now going to connect the coil ends, so the wires of the coil, to these two pins here on the diode pack. But before we do that, we need to expose the actual wire beneath this rubber packaging that surrounds it. So what you do, if you don't have any tools, if you have some scissors, you can do it like this, but very carefully. So try and cut a little piece of the green wire, the packaging, and then gently push up, so you now have some piece coming off, and then from there you can take it off like that. So now you have the exposed wire without the piece, without the packaging. And now we are going to connect each of these to each of those. So first you connect this one to this. So when attaching the wires to the diode, make sure you have enough wire from the bottom part of the coil, so enough wire to go around this pin, and then enough so you can continue after that. After you wrap it around the pin, it will continue there, so you have enough exposed wire for earthing, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to remove more of the sleeve. So now you have exposed wire. Wrap this around this diode, this pin this way. So now this long piece of black wire will be the antenna. We're going to connect one end of the antenna to this diode pack on this pin here. So we're going to do that now. So that's right around there. Now you're going to thread this end through this antenna support stand. So you're gonna poke it through this hole. Okay, so now the final step is to put everything together, and we're gonna glue these two tubes to the radio body. So which should fit in these holes. So we're gonna put these in here. Make sure everything fits as well. So in here. Really careful with this. Very carefully put this one, the coil, into this hole on the left, like so. You might need to make some adjustments with the one thing. You thread these bits through. Or you put these in. We're going to thread this earth wire through this hole. Very careful. Like so, like that. And now we're going to glue this piece onto the body of the radio. Make sure there's no wires getting in the way. So it'll be glued like that. To operate this radio, you may need to move around a little bit. It might work better in more built-up areas like towns and cities because there's more radio signals. So you put the earpiece in. Make sure the earth wire is touching the surface of the ground or any surface. Okay. And you can adjust it as well because it's bendy wire. And then you can simply, to tune the radio, you simply move this piece up and down so you can hear some noise and pick up any sound. You might need a bit of tinkering with to find a station or like to find some noise with the radio. You might need to travel a bit outside for it to pick up any signals.